Hey there guys, Tom here. Welcome back to my movie channel and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. If you guys haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. This review, by the way, will be completely spoiler-free, so you don't have to worry about spoilers in this video. This is a movie that I was quite excited about seeing and went in to see it last night, and I'll start with the positives. The immortal Angela Bassett. She is so freaking good in this movie. Like, it's crazy. You know that speech in the trailer, like, have I not given everything? I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world. When that scene happens in the movie, and when you see that scene in context to what's happening with, and who she's giving that speech to, it is a very powerful, emotional scene. And this is what this movie does, I think, well, is in moments pull on the heartstrings of the audience. It doesn't do it as much as I would have liked it to, or sort of wanted it to, but the moments that it does do that and really hit you emotionally, it really does hit hard. Then, of course, you have Letitia Wright as Shuri, who is pretty much the main lead of this movie without giving too much away. She's very good in the film. I really enjoyed her character arc throughout the movie, and you can really tell with all of these actors, Letitia Wright, Danai Gurira, Angela Bassett, when they're getting emotional talking about T'Challa, you can really tell it's not acting. They're really drawing on emotions that they feel from the loss of Chadwick Boseman. And the same goes for like Lupita Nyong'o, who, I think she's underutilized in these Black Panther films. I was really hoping that she would have a much bigger, more substantial role in this film than she did, because she could lead this franchise. Like, she is a leading lady. The other thing I really like about this movie is Namor. Namor is awesome. He's intimidating. I'm not sure about the little feather wings on his ankles. I think it looks a little dumb, to be honest with you, and I know it's, from the comic books, and so comic book accuracy purists will love it, but I think it looks a little dumb. But Namor as a character, really intriguing. I was really invested in that character. He's one of those villains that I think, throughout the MCU, he's one of those villains that you do actually kind of sympathize with and empathize with a little bit. And you can see his point of view. Every point he makes throughout the movie, you're like, yes, I understand his point. I totally get it. And so I can see why throughout the movie, people would watch this film and go, I'm with Namor on this. I might not like the way he's going about it, but I understand where he's coming from. I have to talk about the Chadwick Boseman thing here for a second, because we were all going into this movie wondering, well, how are they going to deal in the movie itself? How are they going to address T'Challa? And obviously from the trailers, we can tell that they're going to kill off the character. And how do they do that? Do they do it respectfully? And I have to say, they did that about as well as they could have given the circumstance they were in. They didn't want to recast. That's fine. And so they did about as good of a job as anyone could have given the circumstances. And I thought it was quite respectful, and I thought they did a good job honoring him throughout the movie, at the beginning of the movie, and towards the end of the film as well. And I thought they did as good a job as they could have with that. I don't think it could have been handled any better, and I think had they tried to do some sort of recast or CGI or a bit of both, if they pulled like a Princess Leia in Episode 9 scenario, that would have been totally wrong, and it felt really respectful the way they handled T'Challa's passing in the movie. And overall, the movie does feel like a love letter to Chadwick Boseman. It feels like a bunch of people got together to make a movie in honor of their friend, and that is very good. And it hit me in the feels a little bit in certain scenes, and a totally respectable job on all of that. But overall, if we're just talking about the movie and the movie itself, because that is what I'm here to review, I was let down by Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Despite the fact that it has some outstanding performances and some really great scenes and things I enjoy about the film, I was let down by this movie. This film is like 2 hours and 40-something minutes. This film is too long. It's too long, and it's uneven, and it's messy, and it drags. Going from scene to scene, some scenes were far too drawn out. Other moments were far too short. There is a great little subplot going on here with Okoye that really should have been more focused on heavily. And because that was a really intriguing character arc that she has in this movie that I didn't think was by the time you get to the end of the movie, I really felt like they sort of started something really interesting and then just forgot about it and didn't really address it again. But yeah, watching this movie, I couldn't find a reason as to why could they justify this runtime for this film, and I felt like it was just far too long. I think if you sharpen this movie up by about 15 to 20 minutes, I think perfect. Absolutely perfect. But the film just completely drags, especially in the second act. Like, the first act's really good, and the second act just starts to really drag, and it's just messy. Like, it's the only word I can think of to describe how I felt about the film is messy. It's a bit all over the place. And there are definitely scenes in the movie where you're like, oh yeah, T'Challa was supposed to be in this scene, but they had to rewrite it. And, you know, this isn't the filmmaker's fault or anything like that, because obviously, you know, no one saw the death of Chadwick Boseman coming. You can really feel his absence from this movie. Like, you can really feel like it. And I think part of the reason I thought this film felt a little messy to me was because the movie, to me, and I'm only speaking from my personal experience watching the movie, you might have felt differently, that's totally cool. I really felt like this movie didn't have its true lead, if you know what I mean. And despite the fact that they do make a character in this movie the lead of the film, for some reason, it still felt like they were missing an element. And I think that missing element was Chadwick Boseman. Riri Williams is introduced in this movie, as we all know. And it really did feel like, oh, she was introduced in this movie just to set up her own Disney Plus series. Like, and also, although she's good in the movie, and I like Ironheart, but, you know, it just felt like she was just put in there just to set up that series. Anyway, guys, that is my review of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Overall, I was let down by the movie. I don't love it, but I also don't really hate it. Anyway, what did you think of the movie? If you saw Wakanda Forever, make sure you jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you thought. And make sure, if you haven't been here before, you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so you never miss out on my take on all things movies. I'm tripping over my words here. My name is Tom, and I will see you guys next time.